Hello and welcome to Bloodhammer. I'm Dan.
And I'm Dean.
And today we're kind of following on our series where we've been talking about how to get into Warhammer. Obviously, past couple we've gone over your army, the app, kind of building that up. There's another little sort of section of Warhammer and getting into the tabletop side that is the cards. It's how you set up the games. They give you a host of great information. They're where you get your missions from, your secondary missions. And we just kind of wanted to talk through them a little bit because, to be honest with you, they are confusing as shit. They don't really make a lot of sense. They change them a lot. Some of the missions make no sense whatsoever. There is a reason we play the same secondaries every time we play. All the secondaries are crap. But still, we wanted to kind of explain a little bit more about that.
So today we have 3 sets of cards in circulation by G-Dubs. We have the Leviathan mission pack, the chapter approved Prior Nexus pack, and the chapter approved mission deck for 24-26. Now, unfortunately, considering I can't remember exactly when these ones released, the Prior Nexus, but this took an age to get hold of. When the new set was coming out, naively I thought, well, hey, G-Dubs will learn from their mistakes. Ha! They'll print out more. Ha! Guess what? Yeah, they didn't.
No, G-Dubs don't learn from their mistakes. That's the beauty of G-Dubs.
So I'm still waiting. I've got a few orders, a few websites pinged when they come back into stock, and I have blessed Mark at Timecast who's keeping an eye out for me. So I can't discuss those ones, but the most I use at the moment are the Prior Nexus. They're the ones that have come out fairly recently in the grand scheme of things. So the cards are normally broken down into 5 sections. You've got your deployment deck, which is, as it sounds, it's how your army is going to deploy on the table. It can be in any form. You can have it in each of the corners. You can have it across the length. You can have literally a square in a corner on a portrait style or a landscape style desk. And each one creates its own issues, creates its own fun for the game, doesn't it? Whether it's just like our favourite one, I think it's genuinely called Dawn of War, reference to the game, is line, and just go at each other. But you can get other ones where, like I said, imagine a landscape piece of paper and it's the bottom right corner against the top left corner, and that creates its own annoyance on deployment, movement, etc.
They also point out on those cards as well, it will usually tell you where to put your objective markers. So it'll give you inch measurements as to where to put them. So we're going to talk about it in like a video probably in a few weeks. But when it comes to setting up the table, the first thing you do is usually your mate will fan out the cards like a magician. You pick out whichever one you're going to pick, decide whether you actually want to play it or not, because half the time we don't. We just pick out the one that we like, because you can get properly fucked over if you haven't done the board correctly. But it gives you a really handy guide. So it's like, okay, it is 10 inches from here, and then the next one is 16 inches over, 9 inches up. So you know exactly where all your objectives are going to be. It's pretty self-explanatory, really.
It is, and like fair dues, they have done well with that. Following from the deployment deck, you've got your mission rule deck, which again is pretty self-explanatory. The rules of the mission, that could be search and destroy, a bit of a take and hold, a supply run, anything like that. There are 10 different cards with 10 different missions. Now, each mission will tell you as well how your victory points are going to be earned throughout the game. So your victory points are collected within your command phase, and it will tell you how many points you'll have, a certain number of points for a certain number of objectives that you hold, or points that you've captured, however you want to think about it. There's then the primary mission deck, which again is, as it sounds, it's the primary mission for that game. Again, it could be something as simple as taking hold of the center objective, capture these supplies, whatever it is. You've then got your secondary mission deck. Now, these tend to come in 2 different styles: fixed objectives and tactical. That was it. I couldn't think what it was called. Fixed and tactical. Now, we as a little group that we play, and we tend to do fixed, just for the simple fact that at the end of the day, I'm here to roll dice, have a laugh with friends, make new friends, and have fun. And not having to think too much about the cards. Like, we all tend to go bring it down an assassination. That's literally it. It tells you the points, a certain number of points to bring it down based on how many wounds the vehicle has. So my gladiator, no, it's not, my repulsor executioner and the knight, you'll get more points for them than you would do for taking down the 2 gladiator lancers or even the redemptor dreadnought, for example. Assassination,
Kill characters.
X number of points for a character.
Kill characters. And the reason we do that is like a lot of the other cards are just like they're very GW. They're very GW in ease. They just don't really make a lot of sense. If I'm honest,
you want to get points, you've got to have a unit in every corner of the board.
Yeah.
Why would I want
my
that?
God. Or like
I want to kill you.
You can put a unit. You score points by putting a unit on an objective marker, and then they can't shoot or charge or fight or do anything. So you just basically sacrificing a unit, hoping that they don't get murdered to potentially get points.
John's over there is having a bit of the time of it. Oh, this flower's nice.
Yeah, they are really annoying. So like Dean said, the only ones we ever play, really, because all of us that play, me, Dean, George, Bill, Matt, all of us have big vehicles and a lot of characters. Apart from George, he's only got a few characters, but George does have a 30-point stomper, so he makes up for it. He's just made a second, and I can't wait to kill both of them. But yeah, the cards are just kind of the basic foundation of the game. Yeah.
They add a bit of structure, really.
They add some structure, which is good, but we, like everything we've hopefully shown you on this channel before, shout out to our 99 subscribers.
Thank you very much. 100.
Hey,
come on, one more, please.
Yes, please. So I can stop refreshing it every day.
Please give us one.
But they're a nice guideline, they're a nice outline, but to be fair, we kind of just do what we want because, like I said, you play objectives, but there legitimately is some primary missions that have nothing to do with the objective, and or they're just kind of not as important. For me, I want to take objectives and kill stuff. That's all I want to do.
I want to repeatedly hit you in the face with the chainsword.
Yep.
Not just stand there going, oh, I've got to capture this objective. Oh, it's now going to move 6 inches towards my deployment zone. Haha! No, I want to beat you to death with a chainsaw.
And
it's like, it's not a lot for a man to ask for.
No, and we play the game a lot more simply. Is you take an objective, I think it's 4 points. You kill, like Dean said, depending on how many wounds a vehicle's got, you get, I think it's 2, 3, or 4 characters. I think it's a flat 2. Or no, it's gone up to 4 now. I think it's Mariah Nexus you get for killing a character. But point being is, it's just nice and simple. Yeah. Take objectives, kill stuff. It's like team deathmatch in Call of Duty. You know what you get. It ain't overly complicated. It's pretty straightforward to get. But the cards, like we said, they're a good base. You know, they give you some cool stuff. There is some cool missions in there, to be fair. There is some cool stuff. I just ain't got time for that. Like, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I just don't.
And I will admit, selfishly for myself, after I've been at work all day, and I've come home to 2 young kids, my capacity for care has pretty much non-existent. Not having to think too much about what I'm doing and just roll dice and have a laugh is great. But don't let our thoughts or negativity, if you want to think of it like that, sway you on anything. The decks are great.
They are
that
needed.
Little bit. Yeah, they're great for that bit of stability in the game. For, in a way, you could probably say like keeping control of the game. But also at the same time, the decks are great because you can make or break a game within your first 2 turns based on the cards that you draw. Like if you've got in turn 1, if you draw assassination and bring it down in turn 1 on the tactical, you're pretty much guaranteed you're not going to achieve that.
Unless you've got units that can do precision. Yeah, like I was looking at death marks for my Necrons, and death marks is like 5 characters that all have precision. Well, they're a 5-man unit that all has precision. So you might get lucky with that, but like they're kind of, it's not great.
They're the type of cards you want turn
3.
2.
Yeah,
3.
Yeah, 2
if
3.
You've got someone aggressive or like me who just charged at the ball.
I think 2 for bring it down because you'll be finally in range, but 3 certainly for assassination. It's the only time you're going to get close enough to actually start doing some damage to some characters, because most of the time it takes 2 or 3 turns to get near anybody anyway.
And granted, they're not the biggest points, but particularly in a game like this, like, sorry, sue me, Asda, every little helps.
Yep.
But it really does. Like I have won a game before now in the very last turn because I managed to draw assassination. I killed a character and I won a game by like 3-4 points.
Yeah. My game against
That was
Bill.
it.
My game against Bill went right down to the wire, and I lost by 3 points.
Yeah.
And it was literally just I failed a charge, and I failed to. If I'd done that charge, I would have killed the character of his and would have won by probably about 1 point.
Yeah.
And that was all it cost me. Was one Overwatch just did it. But I definitely say if you're new to the hobby, like we're obviously doing all this for people that are fairly new to the hobby, they are good because it does give you a good explanation. But like I said, I think after a while you just kind of pick the missions you find fun and play them.
Yeah. And there are apps out there like what's the app we use?
Tabletop battles.
That's it, tabletop battles. And like you can use that, and once you have inputted into the app what cards that you've got, and it's pretty decent. The fact that it'll help you track your scores, track your command points, things like that. Again, as Dan said, it's something that we're going to touch up on in a bit more detail. Yeah, in a later video. Dan will get a little description up and a little show of that up on the video now for you. But like we will go through it a bit more in future planned videos, which we'll discuss more at the end of this one. But yeah, the decks, they are good. Like I have heard for the chapter proof 25-26, there are new missions, there's better missions, there's new deployments out as well. I would love to be able to talk about them, but unfortunately I can't. Hopefully if I've got a set for the future videos we've got planned, I will set up and we'll show you a bit of them. If not, it will be based off the prior nexus, but the theory behind it is still the same, whether it is laying out the objectives, choosing the card and just sitting and reading it. The theory behind it's the same. The good thing that all of these come with is they come with a little bit of a guide that will tell you what each of the cards are, what types you get, and then just goes into a bit more detail of what everything is. So hopefully we've given you a bit of information on the mission decks you can get. Like I said, we've got Leviathan, the Prime Nexus, and the Chapter Improved 2025-26. Hopefully it's one that we can get our hands on soon. Go through a bit more detail considering it is the current thing. But yeah, hopefully when we've got planned in a couple of weeks time, we're going to do a few rather large videos on setting up the tables, so we'll be setting up the sceneries, laying out the cards, even choosing the cards, laying out the objectives, how you go out measuring them, deploying the armies, all that good stuff. So please stick around for the ride and bear with us, and as usual, thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen, please like our video, subscribe to the channel. We are 1 off 100.
Yep. So
please, one of you, please join us.
And thank you as usual to SWS and Mark over at Timecast. Obviously SWS as usual for letting us film here and play here, and we're here all the bloody time at the moment. And Mark because he's just awesome. I mean, if you do want some stuff, his website is in the description. Check out his new website. He's like pimped it all out. It looks great. But yeah, without any further ado, catch you later.
Thank you.